Synergy. Welcome to Synergy. Live with Synergy. Live with Synergy. This is your host, Andrea John Baptiste. Welcome to Synergy, where music, business, and culture synchronize. Welcome to another Synergy, where music, business, and culture synchronize. Thank you for tuning in today at 5. We are live with Synergy, and today's show is called Movers of Music, Women Behind the Scenes. You know, so much happens in the music industry, right? As we talk about music, business, and culture, and I wanted to talk to some women who, folks, you don't really see them in front of the microphone, but they are making music history, moving things along. And today we have a very special artist manager with us, and her name is Leslie Ann Dyer. She is an amazing manager for an amazing artist, and she's going to tell us all about that for the next 25 minutes. Are you into? You better be. Welcome, Leslie Ann Dyer.
Yes, greetings everyone. Greetings, Andrea, and greetings to your listeners.
We are so happy to have you here today, Leslie Ann. And so,
Thank you.
You are an artist manager. I'm not going to, let's build a little anticipation, okay? We're not going to tell them who you manage just yet. Is that okay?
That's fine.
All right. So let's talk about what an artist manager does. What is the role? What do you do as a manager of a national, international, and global reggae artist?
Well, a manager really takes care of all the artist's business and also take care of the artist himself, because without the artist, you don't have anything to manage, right? So you have to go about and make sure the artist, when you're thinking about the artist himself, you have to make sure he's in his right mind, if he's okay, if he's, you find out everything is all right with you, family is okay, you move on from there. You make sure that all his business, his affairs are in place each and every day. The type of music that he produces, you try and guide them along that way. You try and give them, you encourage them as well too. Because, as I say, you have to ensure that everything is sound with the artist, mind, body, and soul, right? So that is basically what it is you have to do. And breaking down, you have to ensure that, well, day-to-day business, you have to ensure that, okay, who are the persons on his team? If everyone is doing what they're supposed to be doing, you make sure that you have bookings, you have performances, you have his music being played on the radio, how it's being distributed, how persons, how they know about your artist, how they can get in contact with him, things like that.
Awesome.
Basically.
Wow, that's a big job. You're talking mind, body, soul, business.
Yes.
Wow. You've got a lot of work every day, it sounds like, Leslie Ann.
Yes, every single day, 24/7.
So I want to talk to, because, we often have a lot of burgeoning artists that tune into Synergy, because they know they're going to learn some strategies in terms of the business as well. So as you talked about some of the day-to-day, and you broke it down, you were talking about, booking performances, making sure that his music is played on the radio and the distribution channels and so on. Let me ask you, because, I think sometimes folks, they make a song, and the song sounds great or whatever, and they automatically assume that it's going to get airplay and it's going to go to the top of the Billboard chart, and in Jamaica, as we say, go and bust, and then go and bust along with it. Let's talk about that. What's that process really like?
Well, I mean, you see, back in the day, it was automatic, where persons would feel a song, and then because the population, because people feel it in Jamaica, then automatically internationally they react to it, they gravitate to it. But, I mean, in this day and age now, because of we have internet and because the world becomes smaller, sometimes it's reversed. So, like, for example, the artist is Umi, the cheerleader. Nobody knew his song in Jamaica. Is only because the song hit internationally, then they knew it in Jamaica, right? So that's like a reverse. And then as well now in music, I mean, a lot of the DJs now, they have their own way of saying that, you can't get the song play on the radio until that I eat a food, just per se.
In my day, my dad does artist management as well, and that's what is that, payola?
Yeah, payola. That's exactly it, payola. And that's dangerous in the music industry because you see the quality music that ends up getting out there and that interacts with the audience. Sometimes it's not good quality music. Sometimes you listen to a radio station and you would hear this program and you could pick up, yeah, man, this person gets paid to play this song. And sometimes when you hear the type of music that they play for that segment, you know that this radio person, they did not do any research. They just come on the radio, collect the money from the artist and just play what they have to play. It's just like you put in a CD or a cassette and just have something running. They don't have nothing, no kind of substance in the music. Some stuff are badly produced, some stuff are off key, and then worse yet, you see the message in the music. I always think that's very important. The kind of message that you hear in the music, and you have your children listening, especially during prime time. In the day when they're in public transportation that is playing, you would say, how it is they could have that common sense to put that on the radio. It's money pass,
Wow. That is fantastic insight. And I know, like I mentioned, my dad who does artist management too, I'm always, fire bun for the payola, man. No.
Yeah, man, fire bun the payola.
We are talking with Leslie Ann Dyer, an artist manager, and we haven't revealed who she manages yet, but we will in a few. She is a mover of shaker of music as we talk to women behind the scenes today on Synergy. Leslie Ann, you have a master's in business administration. Is that a necessity to be an artist manager? And how do you think maybe your education has prepared you for this role?
Well, I would say it's an added plus because there are a lot of persons that have a degree in it, but they don't do music management, right? So, like me now, when I did my degree, I was the first person. I did my internship at Headline Entertainment in Jamaica. I was the first person of that, doing that degree to actually do an internship in entertainment. Right? I've always loved entertainment, always loved entertainment. So I'm originally from Trinidad, and when I left from Trinidad, I came to Jamaica to do geology. And the only reason why I came to Jamaica to do geology, because I love the music. And I said, I don't care what I'm doing in Jamaica, but I'm going to Jamaica to do my first degree. I don't care what I'm doing. So I just ran to Jamaica and did geology, but I ended up changing to do integrated marketing communication, which is a mixture of advertising, social marketing, and public relations. So that was my base degree. And then I said, I'm not leaving Jamaica. I'm not ready to leave as yet. So I just ran and did my master's in business. And going through, I mean, I've never had any foundation in business at all, except for seeing my parents being entrepreneurs. But other than that, I mean, it was an added plus for me for what the role I was about to take on, which I never knew that I was going to manage one of the most prominent figures in the reggae industry, right? And when I say it's added, because there are a lot of persons that know about the entertainment business are managers, but they don't have the sense to say that, okay, the artist, his account needs to be You know, you need to take care of the artist accounts. You need to have a knowledge on contracts. You know, certain things like that needs to be part of your knowledge. So when I say it's an added plus, you know, it gives your artist more value for his money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's added benefits, very, very much added benefit. But my course, my time doing that course, it was fulfilling, because as a manager, you cannot do everything. And I advise anybody looking to manage an artist, you cannot do everything. If it is you try to do everything, you are being wicked to your artist. Understand? You are being wicked to your artist, because you cannot say that you're going to save money doing that. You're not going to save money. You know, you're not going to save money doing something like that. You're going to lose money, because you can't put out what it is. You can't function properly. So when it is you say, all right, I'm going to do his account books, that is time being taken to do something like that, where you could have taken time to do something else, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that you're being lazy. You're just being wise. You have
and
to use
time
wise.
management.
Yes, time management, because there are a lot of things that you need to do to push your artist to reach that particular level that you're wanting to reach. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Amen.
yes, added benefits. Yes.
Wonderful. So we've got Leslie Ann Dyer is talking to us about the fact that, you know, the education was just a wonderful complement to the experience as well, and the experience was a wonderful complement to the education. So it's a good package to have, which is the experience and the knowledge and the training. Leslie, let me ask you something. In an often male-dominated field, as is music management in the music industry, do you think that the journey for you may have been a little bit different as a woman compared to perhaps your male counterparts?
It is totally different, because I manage a male artist. A lot of persons don't want to go through the female. They want to just say, here what? They want to talk to the artist. So a lot of times, because we've switched up things a bit, because his number was the primary contact, and we just changed it up where, you know, people don't have as quick access to him. They have to go through me. And when they call, oh, you know, I want to book the artist for a tour in Europe, and you know, so I said, okay, no problem. This is his manager you're speaking to. All right, well, let me talk to the artist. I said, no, he's not around right now, but you can speak to me. All right, we'll tell the artist to call me back, the man. I say, really and truly, I'm the artist manager, and I handle his business. All right, well, tell the artist to call me so time, and so it's always a struggle. It's always a struggle where he just says, okay, you know what, really and truly, anytime they really and truly have to get through me, they have to go through protocol and principles, and they have to be respectful of that. They have to go through the artist manager, and I handle the business, because people think that it's not the artist being selfish, but it's the artist being selfless, because I mean, how is it to expect the artist to create good music if his mind is on the business? Right. That is the purpose of the manager, to take that burden away from him and for him to focus on the business. Because if the artist is focusing on, all right, so I'm going to make this amount of money and I have to pay this person and that person, oh gosh, so much money I have to go out, so much money I have to spend, so much things I have to do, so much responsibilities, that is going to clog his brain of his creativity. And they have to understand that. They have to understand that part of it.
Yes, that's an interesting point that you have shared, because, yes, I can imagine that, you know, folks, particularly in reggae as well. Wow, that's excellent insight. So as you are looking for maybe an artist to manage, so as, you know, our listeners hear this and they say, yeah, I think I want Miss Dyer to be my manager, what would you tell them to be looking for in a manager?
Okay, well, first of all, they have to see what experience that they have in management. What have they even managed? It doesn't have to be another artist. It has to be what an artist is a business. No matter what kind of business, business is business. And if you're a manager, you have to be able to manage a business, any kind of business, right? Be it a grocery store, be it a construction agency. You have to be able to manage a business, and an artist is a business. I tell my artists that, I say, don't feel any way, right? I'm not objectifying you, but you are a business, right?
Yes.
Plain and simple, you're a business. So first of all, you have to find out if they have any experience managing anything. 2, you have to know if they're good with money, right? See, anybody knows how to spend money. Anybody knows how to spend money, but do you know how to make an investment? Do you know how to invest that same money that you receive? Do you know how to invest that money that you make? You have to know how to make the artist, make more money, right? When it is the artist makes the money, you don't just spend the money. You have to take back a portion of that and put it into reinvest it into the artist, even if it is the appearance, right? Even if it is music or something else besides the music, right? You have to be able to do that, and they have to be able to give good advice, right? And also, they have to have experience in the music industry, because the thing is, with my artist, I mean, I am so grateful that the level that he was on, that I came in, I mean, I wouldn't say it was easier for me, but I had an advantage, right? And then me being in the music industry, I mean, I was in entertainment, not music fully. So I learned a lot from him. But as a new and upcoming artist, you have to have somebody that have that knowledge, that sense about what is going on in the industry and how it is that they can make connections, links for you, so that, you can up your potential, move on to higher heights, move on to better, endorsement deals, different things like that. Because being an artist is not just about performing and singing and writing music, right? It's a 360-degree. An artist is a business, is a product. You have to know what way, because I mean, we look at these different artists in different categories of music, be it pop, hip hop, dance hall, all these different things, and we would see that. I mean, for example, you have the Rihannas, you have the Jay-Z's, you have the popcorn, and you see they actually have some common sense where they see themselves as a brand. Yeah. And they don't only focus on the music. They use their name to do something else as well. And they have to have somebody that is able to manage that aspect of them as well too. So wow. They have to be smart with that, and their manager also has to have an ear for the music as well too. Because when it is them making music, your manager has to be your best critique. Your manager has to be your best critique. Because a lot of the artists, they have their friends, their family around them, and they are the ones that love them the most. They love the music. Anything they produce, they love it. But there are some persons out there that are true fans that will say, yo, what kind of crap you put out? And they're so disappointed. And then they turn away from the artist themselves. So to keep that quality there, the manager has to know about the music as well too. Know that, you see that tone you're singing in, that's not right. That's not a right tone you're singing in. Or that rhythm does not fit your voice. Or you're not singing on the rhythm. You have to do that over. Things like that.
Wow. So up-and-coming artists understand that your manager is your friend, as well as your critic. Your manager needs to have experience, understanding about money management.
Yes.
I'm going to pause.
Yes, please. I think Isaiah just got up. And him.
So, Leslie and Dyer, you're telling us that an artist that's looking for a manager better beware and know that, Your artist is your good friend, but also your manager, rather, is your good friend, but also a critic. They are, you want to look for somebody that has experience in business, in the music business in particular, but in all business. They can manage your money and help you to manage money, as well as provide you with guidance and to help you make connections and increase your network. So for those of you who've been listening, go ahead, Leslie Ann.
Sorry for interrupting, but they also have to keep in mind that not everything the manager says goes.
Ooh, so they also have to keep that spirit of discernment and wisdom about themselves as well. Awesome.
Yes.
So I want to flip it with you. So as a manager, right, what do you look for in an artist to manage?
Well, I have to see that they are creative. I want to see that they're original. I don't want to see that when it is they come to me with music that they sound like everybody else, you know? Because really and truly right now in dancehall, a lot of them sound the same. I mean, I'm a very harsh critic, very, very harsh critic. So sometimes when I hear stuff on the radio, I'll be like, change that crap. And my artist will be like, how can you be so hard? I say, really and truly, they sound the same. They sound so similar. I just want to hear something fresh, something new. And I want to, you see, your positivity, your lyrical content, that is important. Because you have to remember that as an artist, you are a big influencer. Besides people in the media, you are also a big influencer. You do not need people in the media to put out your music. You have the internet. There are so much different tools that people use, and they become sensations that the media have to gravitate to them if they want to keep their audiences, you know? So you have to be original. You have to look at the type of music that you put out, because we are affecting the future generation, right? And you have to have a drive. You cannot be lazy. Please. Let me tell you something. There's a scripture that I always read when I was going through university, and it was saying about the sluggard, a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the arms to sleep. You have to have that drive, right? How are you expecting to obtain your goals? You want to be an artist, but yet you're not going to take the time to sit down and do your research, read some books, you know, open up your knowledge, open up your mind. Being an artist is not just putting rhymes together. Those rhymes have to make sense. Those rhymes have to be, you know, as I say, lyrical content, everything. Don't be lazy, you know, have that drive, those kind of things. What I look for in an artist, you know.
Wow.
And you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait for a deal to come in, you know, for somebody to sign you, for you to do something. No, man, you go out there, you work the streets, you go in the we call it the record studios, and you show them that you can be an artist. You perform. If a elder artist in the industry come and say, all right, let me hear what you have to sing. No, you know, my voice not too right now, or, you know, just now, let me come back tomorrow. No, somebody asked, this is an opportunity. You sing, man. You jump on the beat. Let me hear what you have to say. Let me hear what you have to do. Let me see that passion, that drive. So that's what I look for in an artist.
Wow. So, artists, if you are looking to be managed by this dynamic mover of music, Miss Leslie Ann Dyer, you better not be a sluggard. You have got to be creative. You have got to, and a positive influencer and drive, and that all makes much sense. And for those of us who appreciate good music, positive music, who almost always have music playing in their house with children running around, yes, clean, positive music, because music is life and music is influence. What? We having some musical church up in here today with Leslie Ann Dyer. Leslie Ann Dyer is an artist manager, and Leslie Ann, you manage one of reggae music's most stalwart icons. His lyrics are household words. She's a showstopper. You just put down some of the little bit of the sound of his song and the party pull up, right?
Yes.
And his name is Mr. Warrior King. Yes, I don't know who that is, Mr. Virtuous Woman himself. Yes, right? You're also married to Mr. Warrior King, Mr. Dyer. How do those roles work together, wife and manager?
Well, I mean, before they were separate roles, but now they've converged because, as I say, it's a 24/7, right? And we work together, we balance. I mean, I have to say, give thanks for my husband, because if I was an artist manager for different artists, I wouldn't have been able to do it. Because our son, he's actually on the road with us as well. So I always joke and say that's my road. So when he gets old enough, he'll be carrying mommy's bag. But yes, I mean, I love it. We love it. You know, I mean, no matter where we are in the world, we are always together, and that's one of the things that is important. That you can have the family on the road with you, because you know when you go on the road, you're homesick. And not homesick as in you miss your country. You're homesick because you miss the people that are around you majority of the time, you know. And it's good that we can be together and work together, because, you know, working together makes things stronger, you know, makes the work easier, makes the work better, makes it more enjoyable. So it's a good thing. It has its goods and its bads. You know, I have a lot of objections sometimes from some people, and I have a lot of encouragement from some people, and I give thanks. I really and truly give thanks that I'm able to have my family on the road with me. I'm able to be with my husband, you know, my lover, my father of my children. It's great.
Wow, what a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sharing. And oh my goodness, I tell you. So I ask a random question usually to our guests, Leslie Ann. And so before we go, I have a very simple random question for you.
Yes.
What is your favorite Warrior King song?
My favorite Warrior King song is Pagans. Never Go Where the Pagans Go.
No way. I was sitting here thinking, which one? Is it Pagans for myself? I was thinking, is it Pagans? Is it Power to Chant? Is it Virtuous Woman? Because that's another one that I love very, very, very much. And, of course, Empress So Divine. I don't know. All right.
Let me tell you something. See, Empress So Divine is my second favorite, right? And I don't usually like to reveal to him, but that's one of the songs that bring tears to my eye, because I think that he's singing it to me. Well, he is singing it to me. But
yes,
it to me. But you know when your husband give you some nice sweet words, oh my gosh! I tell him, I say, let me tell you something. Anytime we fall out or I'm upset with you, sing Empress So Divine to me.
There you go. Absolutely. Well, Leslie Ann, I want to tell you, it has been amazing speaking with you. Your insight in the music industry, your words as a wife and a mother of one of reggae music's most iconic figures. I don't think any of my Warrior King CDs can play full out, as I shared with you, because them scratch up.
Don't worry, he has new music coming out, so I mean, you'll just get ready for that. So there's a new CD coming your way. I'm going to send it to you.
Blessed love. Give thanks for that. So if we would like to contact you for artists that are interested in being managed by Leslie Ann Dyer and or to book your artist, how do we keep in contact, Leslie Ann? Tell our listeners.
You can get me on my Jamaican number, 1-876-834-2889, or on my U.S. number, 1-401-660-5306. You can find me on Facebook, Leslie Ann K. Johnson Dyer. You can also find me on Instagram, Leslie Ann KJD. You can email me, roots with a Z, ROOTZ, warrior, WARRIOR, music @gmail.com. You can also message me through Warrior King's page, Warrior King Music on Instagram, or his Facebook page, Warrior King. Or you can also get me through his Twitter, Warrior King Music, or on his website, warriorkingmusic.com, www.warriorkingmusic.com, right? And I'm easily contacted. You just type in Warrior King and you see the contacts come up. You can find me anywhere.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Wow, what a beautiful day of synergy. We really talked about music, business, and culture synchronizing today with Leslie Ann Dyer, who is a mover of music. As we talked with women behind the scenes, she is also the wife and manager of reggae and international artist Warrior King. Many blessings to you and your household and your family. Thank you for spending time with us. To our Atlanta audience, our South Florida audience, our Jamaica audience, big up. Thank you, Leslie Ann.
Yes, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and you all have a good day.
For the past 12 years, Axum Management Capabilities, Inc. has helped individuals, businesses, and municipalities move from capability to actuality. Our team of experienced business developers will help you to start and grow your business. Let us help you create your business or strategic plan. We'll create with you a responsive marketing campaign that gets your results. How about a new look or brand makeover? Need a grant written for your nonprofit? How about a corporate event planned? Well, visit Axum HQ or call 954-742-9166 to get moving from capability to actuality. Axum Management Capabilities, your full-scale development firm serving the U.S., Caribbean, and Africa. Catch us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Axum HQ.
I am excited to feature lots of those movers of music, particularly in one of my favorite genres, in reggae. So today, I will be talking to, and you'll be listening to, Gail Zucker. Gail Zucker is a world-renowned photojournalist, and she began visiting Jamaica in the late 1970s, right? She must have been like one or, in utero at that time, right? She fell in love with the island, of course, and people and the pulse of Jamaica, reggae music. She knows what time it is. Reggae is the pulse of Jamaica. She loved taking pictures from an early age. Many of Jamaica and other destinations traveled and continues that love of expression. She is currently the special event photojournalist for Roots and Culture magazine and has worked with the magazine for over 10 years. She's also a contributor to World of Reggae. You know who she is. You have seen her photos. You have seen them on Instagram. You have seen them on the covers of magazines. It is none other today than one of my favorite photographers, photojournalists, Gail Zucker. Gail, thank you for being on Synergy today.
Oh, give thanks, Andrea. My pleasure. Pleasant greetings to all your listening audience.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, Gail, how did you get involved in photojournalism and particularly music photography? I mean, I admire so much of your work, and when I grow up, I want to be like you. and really know how to use my camera, So tell me, how did it all get started?
Okay. Well, I was living in Jamaica already. I fell in love with the island, and eventually I just moved there and eventually bought property in Negril. And my closest neighbor were the Salters, who Bertram and Greer-Ann, who now Bertram is one of the facilitators of the Caves in Negril with Chris Blackwell. And and the others, and his sons, Storm and Niall Salter, are at this moment, they're big producers in the film industry. Their big film is Better Must Come. Some big films in Jamaica, yes. And they were my neighbors, so we all kind of, grew up together. They were children. And the other side was a music venue. And a lot of the artist ended up somehow staying at my little bed and breakfast hotel that I built in Negril. And so I got to know a lot of the artists and a lot of the movers and shakers back then. And at my place, like Jimmy Cliff's band stayed, the Wailers stayed. Augustus Pablo used to be a regular guest there. He loved it. Just a lot of early reggae artists. And so that was kind of my introduction into the music industry. And I always enjoyed taking pictures from an early age. I always had my little point-and-shoot camera. And then eventually I moved to Miami, and I met Peggy Quattro of Reggae Report and started taking pictures for Reggae Report. I had still a little point-and-shoot. Eventually moved up to my first Nikon. Oh, no, it was a Nikon camera. And then we moved on to digital, my Fuji, and here we are today. You know, it's so much advanced. They have mirrorless cameras. It's very much different than it was back then.
Wow, what a wonderful history, so rich and vibrant, and full of all good things about Jamaica. Bed and breakfast, Negril, Augustus Pablo. Wow, Gail, very, very impressive. So it sounds like it's been a very exciting, like I said, journey for you. Tell us about some of your early shoots. What was one of the early ones that maybe even surprised you, or you were just absolutely thrilled to have the opportunity to shoot this particular artist or venue or whatever it was?
Right. Well, I always attended Reggae Sunsplash. This was before Sunfest came into being. And somehow the promoters, I got to know them, and they used to visit me in the grill, and I got on to shoot Sunsplash. And that was probably the most exciting back then. That was pretty exciting because, it was Sunsplash, Reggae Sunsplash. And I got to meet the artists and know who was who. And I somehow met Diane Isachar. She has passed now. And she was a big influence for me because she was a renowned photographer, and she showed me a lot of what to do and who was who, and just movements back then in Jamaica. So that was exciting for me. Yes.
Wow, Sunsplash, that's beautiful, beautiful. About how long ago was that, Gail?
Well, that was in the early 80s. Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
And of course, that was one of reggae's biggest shows worldwide at the time.
Sure.
So I know that you do this for a living as well, and we have many folks out there who are interested in photography, interested in photojournalism, and as you mentioned, the industry, right, has changed just from the whole cameras and so on, but also the way that we create the content as well as the way folks consume the content now. How does one become a photojournalist and stay in esteem, in the high esteem in which you are doing this for, over, I'm guessing, 20, 30 years, right?
Yeah, 20-some years, for sure.
Wow.
For sure. Yeah, more maybe now. Right. Yeah.
Gail, we're only going to claim 20, no matter how old we are. We're over 20 years.
Okay, that works for me.
Over 20 years gives us credibility, right? But it doesn't age us. So we're just saying over 20 years. That's our story, and we're sticking to it.
That works for me, for real. I think like someone trying to get into it, probably it would be a good idea maybe to submit an article and cover something just as a spectator maybe, and submit it to a media outlet and kind of kind of make with an introductory letter and say they would like to get into this medium and what are, and maybe have the editor of the media outlet review it and see if they have the talent or see if it could work for their genre of music. And that would be, I would say that would be a good introduction. Like I contributed something back in the day to Reggae Report, and it worked, and I contributed pictures, and there I was featured in Reggae Report. That was probably in the early 90s, maybe, here in Florida. Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're saying, folks, take that initiative, right? Get out there, cover the event, make sure that, a reputable media outlet that's aligned with what you're covering. So if you're covering rock, send it to a rock magazine. If you're covering reggae, send it to the reggae magazine, is what I'm hearing you say.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
Nice. Now, we've seen that even, the industry, the journey of journalism in and of itself, collecting information, sharing it to our broader audience, that process has changed and so on. What's been your experience for a little over 20 years, wink, wink, right?
Right.
And how has that journey been? What's the process? What have you observed, good, bad, and indifferent?
Right. Well, okay. Like at first, you say the facts. Okay, I did this person played, that person did this person this. But eventually, what I started doing is talking about the whole experience. Okay, like Rebel Salute. Let's just take that as an example. Rebel Salute used to be in St. Elizabeth, in a beautiful little area, and it was kind of in the country. And so I started taking pictures of like Lover's Leap and all the beautiful scenery around there. So it enhanced the experience. And I talked about my experience, like eating at Little Ochi, the prime seafood area there, the restaurant in St. Elizabeth, and just kind of broaden the whole spectrum of the experience, and it gave people a feel of the area, not only just the music event, but just the whole experience of the area and what it had to offer. Okay.
Nice. So you actually broadened beyond the event. You broadened your the exposure for the event, because not only did you cover the event, but you were able to, it sounds like, do some kind of travel, photography coupled with the entertainment piece.
Exactly. It gave people an insight to the area and really made created a that they wanted to really experience it for themselves, and made it more enticing. Right.
Yeah. So not just come to Jamaica for the show, even though the show is well worth a trip to Jamaica, but also come and have the Jamaican experience.
Right.
I love it. And so, Gail, you have been a constant. I mean, and I think I have some pictures of you shooting various shows as well in our industry, like I've been saying. And, the reggae in and of itself and the music industry has changed. So as you talk about how journalism has changed and some things that you've done to, keep abreast and stay with the flow, what have you seen throughout, with the industry from your journalistic lens?
Okay. Wow. Yeah. Well, over the years, I'm not a dance hall fan at all. So over the years, I've kind of minimalized what I do, really, and really concentrating on roots music. I've just recently come up from Jamaica, and I over the years, the audience has probably seen Earl Chinna Smith, who originally performed with Bob Marley as a guitarist, and then Ziggy Marley, and now he has something called the Bingy Straw, which he has Nyabingi drummers in conjunction with his guitar and piano and even saxophone. Just a mixture of Nyabingi drumming and modern day, people perform. Yeah. So to me, it's created a new genre of music almost because it's kind of innovative as to what he's doing, and he's such a brilliant guitar player, and people gravitate to him. So I've been working with them, and I just been amongst them. He has it's called In a D Yard. And so I go there a lot and take a lot of pictures and do even live coverage. And that, to me, that's along with Chronix and Protege and Kabaka and the new, what they call reggae revivalists. That's really what's happening now, as opposed to back, in the day. I mean, I managed the Tamlins and all the rock steady groups and just the different Johnny Clark, Leroy Sibbles, the Diamonds, all of the groups coming up. I mean, the rhythms have changed, but they have evolved. So it's exciting to see. Yeah.
Yes, it's exciting times, I believe, and particularly in reggae. And wow, I was not aware of. You said it was what? Nyabingi Straw?
It's called the Bingy Straw, Bingistra.
Bingy Straw. Okay, I'm gonna have
Bingy
to check
Straw,
that out
like
as well.
orchestra, but
Bingy Straw. I get it, the Bingy Straw. Oh,
right, like
goodness.
orchestra, but with bingy in it. Yeah.
Yes, with the bingy drums and the bingy drumming. Oh, that is beautiful.
It's amazing. It's really amazing.
I can't wait to hear the sounds of that. I'm heading to Jamaica at some point in the next maybe month and a half, and so I will definitely have to go check out the Bingy Straw. That's wonderful. So, funny how time flies when we're having fun. We have just a few more minutes to go, Gail. So I want to ask you, what is something about this work that you think most people are not aware of? Give us a little peek behind the scenes.
Okay, well, to me, it's all fun and all that to take the pictures, but the most tedious thing to me is the editing. I have to drag myself to really sit down and focus to edit all these photos, and it's a lot of work. It's not all fun like people say, oh, you have such a great life, but it's not. I mean, it's fun, yes, but it's a lot of work that people don't really realize.
Oh, my goodness, Gail. So you know that I am an amateur photographer. I don't even know exactly how to completely use my camera.
You're good, man. You're good.
Thank you. I have a good eye. I will say that.
Yeah.
But I tell people all the time, and that's one of the reasons, sometimes people will say to me, oh, Andrea, can you come shoot or something for me? I'm like, I will do it out of courtesy for you. But the reality of it is this. Don't press me to get those pictures back, because the editing time, sometimes I have to just be in the zone, and I will sit there and edit, 3 or 4 events or 3 or 4 things, and then there are times that I don't even want to touch the SD card. So I understand that back end editing of the pictures. Woo.
Yeah, that's the not so fun part, right?
Yes, that's the work of it all, right? That's the work of it all, absolutely. So, Gail, every guest gets a random question, right? And so today, the random question for you is, tell us if you have a favorite photo or a photo that really, just amazes you. Every time you look at it, it warms your heart. Do you have one of those?
Well, what comes to mind, I was at the Irie FM Marcus Garvey event just like not this weekend, I think 2 weekends ago. And Bunny Whaler was one of the performers. Now, my thing for the editor of Roots Reggae and Culture magazine is to approach the artist and get them to hold up the magazine, and I take a picture of them holding the magazine. We put it on the back cover. Well, Bunny Whaler was there, and he gave me a beautiful picture of him smiling with the magazine. It was just perfect. And when my editor saw it, he was so excited. So I guess recently that comes to mind.
That's a great story. Thank you for sharing. Jabi is one of my favorite, highly, highly, highly respected. Oh, yes, good deal today on Synergy as we wind down with Gail Zucker. Gail, tell us how folks can learn more about you or even book you or contact you for additional questions.
Okay. Well, I'm on all the media outlets like Facebook, Instagram. My contact information is on Facebook. I'm not hard to find, I just Google me. There's some things there, but Facebook's probably the easiest with my contact.
Awesome. Well, that is this show at this time for Movers of Music, Women Behind the Scenes.
That's our time. That's our chat. Now it's time to call it a wrap. Tune in next week at 5 for another episode of Synergy Live, where music, business, and culture synchronize. Until then, hit us up online at livewithsynergy.com. Synergy is a production of Black Iowa TV. Synergy is brought to you by Axum Management Capabilities. www.axumhq.com. That's AXUMHQ.com.